Unless tomorrow morning election results bring in a major upset. The Gandhi siblings and their Congress party, the mob masquerading as socialists, that is the Samajwadi Party, are all heading for a royal rout, a decimation, and annihilation, call it what you will. Well deserved, I would be tempted to say, or maybe even mouth that evergreen phrase, I told you so. But crowing over the defeat of one party and the victorious sweep of another is not the objective of this episode. Rather, the need of the hour is a clinical examination of why the Liberal lobby and its never say die candidate Rahul Baba fails again and again at the hustings. Hi, and welcome all to the CAA show. CAA, as all of you know, is Conversations and Analysis. And my name is Juggi Bhasin. The CAA show is a show for thinking folks. And if you wish to join the show, press the subscriber button on your screen. Subscription is, of course, completely free. So let me first tell you in a single line the problem with the siblings and their party, and by default, the Liberal lobby, and then develop on that theme. The fact of the matter is that even though the Gandhi siblings and the Congress party are supposedly in the business of winning elections, their thinking, their outreach, and their gut sense of politics is not about politics at all. They talk of issues and take up causes which have no connect at ground zero. Their advocacy is tired, theoretical, irrelevant posturing, screeching, and preening of social, political, and economic issues, the kind undertaken by a rejected and dejected quasi Marxist professor teaching a class in which all the students have walked out. That is how much irrelevant the Gandhis are in the present political context. Let us take the issue to understand the kamikaze style of politics practiced by the Gandhi siblings and all those who support them. Let us first take up their favorite theme echoed liberally and loudly by the Liberal lobby and the media in all national and international forums. They accuse the BJP of ushering in a Hindu Rashtra at the cost of subjugating the Muslim community. Yogi is painted in colors as a saffron ogre. The truth of the matter is that Uttar Pradesh has not seen a major riot since 2014. It has seen a stable law and order situation in the last few years. Many of the mafia dons enjoying the patronage of the we know who political entity have been neutralized and their sharp shooters and ransom collectors eliminated. And for all the talk of mismanagement by Yogi during the Delta wave, Uttar Pradesh was among the first states to come out of the COVID grip into normality. But the issue of the treatment, or rather the supposed ill treatment of the Muslims, need to be explored a bit more. Muslims, like all other communities, availed of the free ration, the free gas, the toilets, and even the direct transfer in their bank accounts like anyone else. The Modi-Yogi dispensation did not discriminate against them. Yes, there was a crackdown on unruly elements in the community during the CAA agitation, and rightly so. To my mind, the single big reason why the UP voter has rejected the Samajwadi Party and the Congress Party is their role in encouraging the arsonists and thugs during the CAA agitation and their open support to hijab wearing women in Karnataka to create social unrest and use the hijab as a tool of social and political disruption. The ordinary UP voter was horrified to see those scenes, and he knew that voting in the Samajwadi Party and the Congress would mean encouraging these violent fundamentalist forces to take over the reins of power and destroy social harmony and peace in the state. The Jats or Western UP sense that the new liberal narrative of Jats and Muslims forming one bloc was a self-serving exercise, and in any case, the sight of hijab-clad women driving that narrative deeply offended them. And for all the talk of unemployment, the fact of the matter is that a silent revolution has already taken place in India, in which everyone, especially the weaker section and the migrant worker, gets free ration. No one goes hungry. There is free gas to cook the food, and the farmer gets compensation straight in his account. The voters figured out that all this was much better than the airy-fairy promises of the SP party and the Congress for social betterment. But more than this, they saw through the mask of both parties that even though they never get tired of accusing the BJP of Hindutva politics and being anti-Muslim, they were the real communalists and castes who advocated the rights of hijab wearing women, and religious fundamentalists wedded to extremism. And not to forget how the Gandhi siblings used Punjab to experiment with their new harebrained social disruptive agenda. And watch out where it will finally land them. Fact is, if the Congress had persisted with Captain Amrinder Singh, they would have had, even today, won the state. But Rahul Gandhi, so full of himself, imperious in approach with political agility and deftness 0 to negative, decided to stir the pot and use Sidhu to oust Amrinder. And then he used Chani to disrupt everyone else and trigger his party's downfall. Seriously. If Rahul Gandhi's role does not earn him the sobriquet of a political tughlaq, then I don't know what will. The time, therefore, has come to identify who exactly stands where and in what order. There are no takers for the Gandhi siblings and their party and regional outfits like the Samajwadi Party, because everyone knows liberalism for them is just a catchphrase, and they resort to the worst, hideous, backward stratagems to pit community against community, caste against caste for their own benefit. And no one buys in their politics of attrition any longer. And on the other hand, despite the saffron robes and the Hindu way of life cheering, there is a party and a leadership that plays fair, treats everyone equally, and gives no quarter to entitlement. And at the right time, it shows huge reservoirs of empathy displayed with so much skill and excellence in the evacuation process of not only Indian citizens, but even Nepali, Bangladeshi, and Pakistani citizens from Ukraine. So when the mirror is held up to look at our body politic, it becomes so much clear why people reject some political entities again and again and accept another again and again. So, on that note, I come to the end of this episode of the CAA show, and I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. If you like a show, do subscribe to us. And on this note, it's goodbye and cheers from my end.